I never cared much for office gatherings. Especially the ones hosted by my wife's boss. They always felt staged, fake smiles, meaningless chatter, and far too much drinking. Still, this time, against my instincts, I went along, for her. Sophia insisted it mattered, that it was a chance to make connections, and that her boss preferred when spouses showed up. So I put on a suit, slid into the car, and accompanied her. By the time we arrived, most guests were already there. The grand house buzzed with voices and laughter bouncing off the polished walls. Soft jazz played somewhere in the background while waiters drifted through with trays of wine and appetizers. Almost immediately, Sophia spotted a circle of her colleagues and slipped into their midst, wearing a smile I hardly ever saw at home anymore. That left me lingering near the buffet, holding a glass of wine, trying not to stand out. A few polite nods came my way, but no one stayed. I wasn't one of them. Not really. Across the room, I noticed Sophia laughing at something her boss, Mr. Langford, had said. She looked alive, at ease, completely absorbed. Meanwhile, I kept checking the time on my phone, wondering when it would be acceptable to leave without seeming rude. After about an hour, I'd had enough. I texted Sophia that I'd grab a cab and wait outside. No reply. With a quiet shrug, I pocketed my phone and started toward the exit. That's when I heard it, my name. The sound froze me in place. It came from a door slightly ajar down the hallway. Normally, I wasn't one to eavesdrop, but something compelled me closer. Through the crack, I saw Sophia and Langford talking privately, so focused on each other they didn't notice me. My chest clenched as her voice carried out. He has no idea. I could lie to him all day and he'd never notice. It's almost too easy. She laughed lightly. Langford smirked, leaning in. You're good at this. He suspects nothing. Not a thing, Sophia replied smoothly, sipping her drink. He just thinks I'm exhausted or stressed from work. Honestly, he's clueless. The blood drained from my face. My pulse hammered in my ears, so loud I feared they might hear it. Then Langford spoke again, softer. And what about us? When do we stop sneaking around? Sophia's lips curved into a sly smile. Soon. I just need to end it the right way. If I'm not careful, he'll get emotional, suspicious. He wouldn't take it well if he knew. I stumbled back a step, every muscle locked tight. My wife, conspiring with another man, mocking me, already planning how to discard me. Part of me wanted to storm in, unleash everything boiling inside. But I didn't. Not then. I steadied my breath, turned silently, and walked away. When I reappeared in the main hall, my face was arranged into something neutral, as though nothing had happened. I stood there a moment, collecting myself, pretending I'd just gotten lost. Later, when Sophia found me and asked where I'd been, I even smiled. Just needed some air, I lied. She didn't flinch. Not a trace of guilt. She was practiced. For the rest of the evening, I observed differently. Every subtle glance, every fleeting brush of her hand against Langford's, now glaringly obvious. Things I might never have noticed before stood out like neon signs. At home, she slipped back into casual chatter, joking about coworkers, calling some of them dull. She was perfectly comfortable, as if nothing at all was wrong. I nodded, played along, acting as though I hadn't just overheard her betrayal. But that night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, thoughts twisting endlessly. How much of our marriage had been real? Did she ever truly love me? Or was I just the safe choice until something more thrilling came along? By morning, I knew what I had to do. Confronting her without proof would only let her deny, manipulate. So I began gathering evidence, quietly, methodically. I dug through texts, emails, call records. Within a week, I had what I needed. Photos of them leaving hotels, timestamps of late-night calls, even recordings. Enough to end our marriage, and to destroy them both, if I wished. When the moment came, I wasn't angry. I didn't shout or cry. I stayed calm, precise. I called a lawyer, filed for divorce, froze our accounts, changed the locks. Then I waited. The day she came home and saw the papers on the table, her expression was pure confusion. "What's this?" she asked. "You tell me," I said evenly, sliding a small USB toward her. "Why don't you listen?" Her hands shook as she plugged it in. Her face paled more with each passing second as the recordings played. She opened her mouth, scrambling for words, but I cut her short. "I heard it all that night. Every word. You were already planning to end it. Let me save you the trouble." That's when she broke, tears, apologies, desperate pleas. She called it a mistake, insisted she still loved me, claimed none of it mattered. But her words were empty. The damage was done. The trust was gone, and with it, my love. So I turned and walked away. From her. From the lies. From the life I thought we had built. I didn't look back.